Now, can you hear something? Let me know if you can hear stuff now. Can you hear stuff now? Please comment if you can hear stuff now. All right, guys, if you can hear audio now, okay, thank you. Gosh, sorry about that. If you had clicked on the stream before this, you couldn't hear anything, and that would explain why people were leaving. So everything I just said you couldn't hear. So sorry about that. I hadn't had it set up correctly in OBS because it's like the second time I've used the software in this computer. And essentially what I was saying is I got a new microphone. This is the Shure SM7B. It's a really great dynamic podcast microphone. And I bought this essentially for a new podcast that I will be doing, which is about audio, video, filmmaking, YouTube, and basically the stuff that I know about. This is not my main mic. My main mic is the Blue Spark, which is over in my closet. That's a condenser, and that's in my treated space, which I use for recording for the videos. But for things like this and for podcasting, it's better to have a dynamic mic like what this is here. And it's really great because this mic is so good at blocking out background noise, which is not something most good mics do, because most good mics, in the minds of most people anyway, are condenser mics. The reason a lot of people stay away from dynamic mics is they're not as sensitive and they're not quite as clear. But something like the Shure SM7B strikes a really nice balance between the clarity yet hypersensitivity of a condenser and the versatility and background, noise reduction of a dynamic. But yeah, it's a legendary microphone. You'll see it on like every podcast, basically every podcast that cares a lot about the audio anyway. Joe Rogan uses it. H3H3 podcast uses it. So I'm really happy to have one. And as the title of the stream would suggest, just let me know again, guys, if the audio stops working again. We're going to be talking about VidCon. VidCon was where I was from Wednesday to Friday, and I really was able to have a pretty unique and interesting experience at an event that I had never been to before. I'd never gone to a VidCon, and I didn't really know what to expect. My friend Lucas, who I don't know if he's watching the stream, I wouldn't expect him to because he's on his way home right now, I think. He was the one who'd originally invited me. He's a friend of mine, personal friend, who lives in another part of the state. So we met there at VidCon. We ended up getting community passes based on the recommendation of many people on YouTube that they're a better deal because a creator pass, at least in the minds of some, is not necessarily worth the upgrade. But I think if I were to go again, I'd probably get the industry pass, which costs a lot more money, but it's one of those things where you're going to get a lot more for what you're paying for. But for those of you who are not familiar, VidCon has this essentially 3 tiers, of tickets. You got the community, which is the cheapest ticket, which is geared towards people in the community of YouTube and I guess all video production, technically. Creator, which is geared towards creators, and then you have industry being the most expensive and made for the industry, but they all offer different levels of like the events you can attend, and then they're going to let you essentially do different things with that. But I ultimately had a good experience there. I was able to connect with brands who I really like. I was able to go talk to Audio Technica, go tell them about how much I love the M50Xs, as you guys who are familiar with the channel know. I really love those headphones. I was able to talk to TubeBuddy, the brand which I use TubeBuddy, this software here, to essentially help my channel with marketing analytics kind of showing up in search, and it's one of the reasons I'm able to get a fairly decent amount of views for the amount of subscribers that I have. So, if you guys are interested at all in using TubeBuddy, then that's not it. That's not what I meant. What you want to do is go to tubebuddy.com/Erickson. This, friends, is my custom link that I have made so that you guys, if you're looking to sign up for TubeBuddy, pay the normal price, which you'd always pay, but the difference is you will be supporting me here at sorry, one more time. That was here at Erickson Films. You'll be supporting the channel if you choose to buy this subscription to the software. I can get 30% of what you pay for it every month. So if you're a content creator, it's a software that I definitely recommend. So if you're considering doing that, then please use my link. It won't cost you any more than it normally would. But that was one of my biggest highlights of the event was going to talk to the people at TubeBuddy. And then also I was able to meet some YouTubers who I really like. I was able to meet the YouTuber Roberto Blake, who, if any of you guys are familiar with him, he's a YouTuber who is very much in the kind of what am I doing? His videos are about things like passive income, building a YouTube channel. That's originally how I found out about him. He made a lot of videos about how to grow a YouTube channel. And since then, he's branched into a lot of other things. He's got videos about passive income, about public speaking, about graphic design, just about general motivational content. And he was someone who has been a big inspiration to me for a really long time here on YouTube. And if you're at all looking for someone to watch who can give you information about how to be successful on YouTube, how to get more views, and if you just want to know the channel that, sort of the most directly at least influenced the way that I run my channel from an analytical perspective, then this is the guy to check out. Roberto Blake. I got to meet him, which was really fun. I got a picture with the guy. Beyond that, I was able to meet some other YouTubers who I enjoy watching. Derek Blackman. I don't think that's his real last name, but some black guy. He's a really quite interesting guy. I enjoy his content. And then I also met Chris Raygun, who, if you guys are into gaming YouTube, likely know who he is. But those were the YouTubers that I met. There were a lot of YouTubers who I would have liked to... Oh, no, sorry. And I also met Boogie2988. That was cool. Didn't get a picture with him, unfortunately. But it was very interesting to me, though, the entire event, because it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, in that there's a lot of kids there, a lot of kids who are essentially there to see their favorite creator, almost like they're going to Disneyland. I mean, ironically, Disneyland is across the street, but it's almost like a very Disneyland-like crowd there. It's something that I've heard was not always the case at the event. And, that's great. That's great that kids are enjoying YouTube, enjoying meeting their favorite creators, but it did give the event this whole kind of feeling that, it's like you're going there to see people, not necessarily to meet other people in your industry, unless, of course, you chose to buy an industry pass, in which case there was probably more opportunity there. But ultimately, though, I did enjoy myself. I did have a good experience. It was good to be there and to see that I have a lot of work to do here at Erickson Films. I have a lot of room to improve and a lot of inspiration now leaving that event. That event gave me a lot of inspiration, guys. I definitely feel that what I'm going to do now with this channel is a lot more clear to me about wanting to grow this channel a lot further. It wasn't always something that was super important to me. I mean, if you look at these last 6 months on the channel, I have not uploaded all that much. Not only in the last 6 months, more like the last year, really. Has not been a super active time on Erickson Films. And you know, I'm not necessarily proud of that. I believe that if I'd made more videos, if I'd actually stuck with my once-a-week upload schedule, which those of you who've been on the channel for a long time would remember. Those of you who haven't probably find it funny to hear me even say that, but there was a time when Erickson Films had one video going up a week. And that's something I'm really trying now to get back into, and I think is a lot more feasible than it was even more recently, because I'm done with school now. I graduated, and I think that the only thing stopping me now is me. You know, it's me not wanting to do the work to get to the place I want to be. But I think that that's what was so special about going to VidCon for me, is that I was able to see that, yes, I can do this. I can make this perhaps a career, perhaps a big part of my professional life. And that's really because it's nothing that I need, really. There's nothing I need. I have it all now in order to make the good content. I have all the gear that I need. I have, Hey, dude, are you the voice of the YouTube channel Company Man? Sorry, guys, I was sort of going on a little rant there. I'm going to finish that up by saying I have everything I need. It's now just about working harder. Z-Alp says, hey, dude, are you the voice of the YouTube channel Company Man? I don't know, because I do a lot of voices for channels. Can you send me the direct link? Because I actually might be, and I might just not know it. Although, I don't think so. No, this guy... That guy's not me. That guy's definitely not me. But the reason I didn't immediately answer, definitively is I don't know. I've done work for a lot of different YouTube channels for voiceover. So if you've heard my voice on YouTube and it wasn't here, that was probably me. That's just one of the main ways I make money. But yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. That's what I'm doing here. Besides the, discussion of VidCon, I'm discussing Erickson Films and the questions and answers about it. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know why I wasn't working harder on this channel recently. I don't know why. I'm not necessarily happy about it. And I'm glad to see the channel's not dead. In fact, it's actually been gaining subs. But there's a lot more I could have done. And it's not good to dwell on the past, and I realize that. And that's why I'm making it my effort to start uploading again. If you guys notice, I did upload just very recently about the review of the Creative H7 Tournament Edition headset. Sound Blaster, I mean. Creative is a parent company. I really recommend you guys check that out if you haven't seen it already. That video was very high production, took a lot of work, and it's overall something I'm happy with. But yeah, I mean, going to VidCon showed me what it means to be a YouTuber, and, it made me happy to know that there are people there who are making a difference in people's lives every day, and then seeing those people tell them that, and seeing that interaction in real life was really special, guys. And I'm not necessarily saying I need that for myself. I don't need the validation. Oh, I need to be an invited creator at VidCon, but to know that helping people thing, that it's something tangible, that was definitely really encouraging. Really something that made me want to create more videos and grow Erickson Films And, well, I also sort of say Erickson Voice for my voiceovers as a personal brand. And I just wanted to say thank you guys to you guys here watching the channel who've stuck with me through a lot of this, who've really been a pretty loyal audience. And then those of you who comment every day, I still get comments, still get views, and that is encouraging. I've thought before about just basically not doing this channel anymore, and that's mainly because of things like video that I get paid to do, and voiceover, and other jobs that, as far as my per hour charge, I make more from. But this is special, guys. This is something that I'm able to communicate and I believe educate an audience about something that I think I know a fair bit about. And not only that, it's something I'm very passionate about. So that's why I'm really trying to get back into this. Trying to put my best foot forward this summer and more broadly this year. I mean, there wasn't always a passion to really create for me. There was always a desire to, make a difference, I guess, even if it was only for myself. But so that didn't really make any sense. I'm going to go back to reading these comments. Manfred Hammond, what was the most challenging idea you came across at VidCon? The most challenging idea, I think. So John Green and Hank Green, who are two people that I really respect and admire, were doing a talk about, they called their Nerd Fighter talk, and they were basically talking about their lives and their missions and sort of their philanthropic work they were doing. But one of the things they were talking about is that they'd made over 180 videos on Vlogbrothers when they still had less than 100 subscribers. So that in and of itself is a very challenging idea to me, that it might be a while where I'm still making a lot of videos on Erickson Films consistently before this channel really takes off. And I think it's hard for me to deal with that, because everybody loves the dopamine little rush you get when you get subscribers and you get clicks and you get shout outs. Everyone loves that, including myself. So it's to me, the most challenging idea is knowing that I'm going to have to work for a while, or at least in theory, I may have to work for a while before this thing really takes off, but that's okay. So I hope that answers your question, Manfred. Z-Alv says, I see you have a S7B. Has it been an improvement for your Blue Spark and MXL 990? So glad you noticed, Z-Alves. I'm really happy with this new mic. I just got it in this last week. And this is not replacing my Blue Spark. My Blue Spark is still in the closet right now in the treated space, and I'm going to continue to be using that for YouTube. This is for a podcast that I will very likely be starting in the very near future. Not likely, I'm going to be starting in the very near future, which is about audio, video, filmmaking, and YouTube, and other stuff that I know about. I'm going to be doing it with my friend Lucas. So that's really why I got this. Something I wanted for a really long time. And also I'm going to move into my grandpa's in August, so I'm not going to be living here anymore in this space. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to treat that space. So if I don't, this will become my permanent mic. Because this mic is great, because it's a dynamic mic, and it doesn't pick up that much background noise, so it's perfect for an untreated space. Mr. Robbie Jr. says hi. What's up, Mr. Robbie Jr.? I remember I've seen you on a lot of the streams. Good to see you again, buddy. But yeah, I mean, I think that VidCon overall, it was kind of a wake-up call for me, guys. Like, it was like, all right, Christian, you got to be working harder on this whole YouTube thing. Because I wasn't always taking it seriously, I don't think this last 6 months was me taking it very seriously. But I also say that while simultaneously believing that I did make my greatest videos in the last 6 months. I do think those were my best on the channel, as far as what were the highest in production quality and the things I'm the most proud of. So we got videos that I'm really proud of, such as Audio-Technica ATH-M50X in 2018. This is perhaps my best video. And Why an Audiophile Loves AirPods 10 months later. These both came out in the last 6 months. And those I'm really proud of. Do you make videos full time now? So I guess I'm done with high school, but I'm going to be starting community college in the fall. That wasn't originally my plan. My original plan was to go straight to a 4-year, but I did not get into the colleges that I wanted to, so that is why I've decided to do this. But I'm going to be living in a neighboring city. I don't care. I'm not freak. I'm living in Santa Barbara, California. I don't have no problem saying that. I'm not that paranoid. Starting in August. Not where I currently live. So I'm going to be not living here anymore to do that. But I'm not going to be having as many classes, so I'll be having more time. So yes, in a sense, I'm doing this work full time, at least for the summer. I'm making so what I'm doing for my job is I'm making voiceover recordings. I'm currently working on an audiobook. I'm doing video work, corporate video. Wait a second, guys. I make videos of things like this for a company that does logos. I make, my product skills that I got from YouTube. I use them to make videos about stuff like this, and that pays quite well, I think. And then, YouTube is the other part of that, which I'm really going to try and focus more on. So, yes, in a sense, at least this summer, I'm doing this stuff full time. So that's why there will be more content. Manfred Hammond, what's the most complicated part about making a YouTube channel as a young adult? Very good question, Manfred. Thank you for asking. I think, and he also says, congrats on graduating high school. Thank you very much. I think the most complicated part is knowing that there are things, this is kind of goes with any part of your life, but I think specifically when you're a young adult, you're going to have to sacrifice some socializing. The last summer, guys, I made no videos on this channel. I made maybe one the entire summer, but I had a super fun summer. I had a lot of fun with friends. I was probably, the most social I'd ever been in my life. I went to Spain for 3 weeks. I had a wonderful, wonderful summer, but I wasn't working at all. I was basically I was simultaneously having a lot of fun and being very lazy. What I'm trying to do this summer is find a balance between both of the two. So I think the most complicated part is not spending so much time with your friends that you have no time to actually work on your content, but then alternatively not spending so much time on your personal brand like your YouTube channel that you don't have any friends and you're not socializing at all. I think it's about finding that balance. And guys, I'm 18, I'm almost 19, so I'm at a time where socializing is, I think, an important part of my life. So to answer your question, Manfred, I think that's the most complicated part, is finding that balance, the work-life balance, which I know is a part of anyone's life at any age, but I think particularly at my age, people consider these a lot of the best memories of their lives, so I'm trying to make sure I keep making those memories while simultaneously trying to grow this brand. Mr. Robbie Jr., what's your favorite thing about making a YouTube video? Sorry if you guys hear any background noise. My family's walking around. Thankfully, this dynamic mic does block out a lot of that noise. So I'm just going to tell my dad really quick that I'm doing a stream. So back to Robbie Jr.'s question, what's your favorite thing about making a YouTube video? I think it's seeing that final product when it's done, and when I'm in Premiere, and when I'm already done the color, when I've done the audio editing, when I've done the video editing, and clicking export, and then just watching it, watching that creation that I made myself without any real, outside help. And then just seeing that I created that content. That really is my favorite part. Just seeing that video as a whole product and watching it and seeing that it all works the way I want and everything is the way I want. It gives me a tremendous sense of pride. and I think a healthy sense of pride. So that's my favorite part, is seeing the finished product. Z Alv says, I'm really looking forward to your podcast. Will you publish it on this channel? So thank you. Thank you, Z Alves. I'm glad you're looking forward to it. I am as well. I think I will publish it on the channel. That's certainly, if you guys think it's a good idea, I will. It's for sure going to be on iTunes and SoundCloud probably as well, Stitcher, some other of those podcast things. My friend Lucas and I, who you guys are going to meet from the podcast, we're trying to be very professional with this. We're going good audio quality, RSS feed, media hosting. We're going the professional route with this. We have a friend of mine's working on a logo right now. Really happy with how that logo looks. So yeah, it will, but I will publish it on the channel if you guys think that's a good idea, just so you guys can have an opportunity to listen to it on here. So yeah, it will very likely be on the channel. So Manfred Hammond, will there be a theme series to your podcast? Yeah. So it's really going to be focusing on, at least from what I want right now, I want to be focusing on audio, video, YouTube, and just generally the what it means to create content and how that translates to kind of, not how that translates to, what that means today in today's context, audio, video, YouTube, content creation in now in the current era, and how you can do that cheaply. It's going to be very informative. It's not necessarily going to be super conversational. It's going to try and be really informative, educational, just like these videos, but in audio form. But when I say we, yeah, Z-Alves remembers my friend Lucas, who you guys I think will like a lot. He's the friend I went to VidCon with, and he is also, so you asked about the MXL 990. I gave him that mic. So, and then he's going to be getting, I think, an Audient ID14, just like I have, and then a Rode PSA-1 boom arm. So we're really going to have good audio quality in the podcast. But yeah, Lucas is a peer tutor, kind of, he's younger than me, but peer tutor at a youth radio where he lives. So, and he also has pretty extensive experience with video and audio. So yeah, we're going to be, yeah, sure, Manfred, you're welcome for the clarification. That's going to be really the, that's going to be the two people on the podcast. Maybe there will be other guests on sometimes, but generally it'll just be him and I. And we're shooting for once a week. What we're going to do, that's why it's still going to take a while for this to all get ready, is we're going to record 5 episodes, get all the hosting and everything set up, all that done, and then, try and get cleared for iTunes. So it's going to be a little while till it's fully up and going, but when it is, I think you guys are really going to like it. I'm really trying to put my best foot forward with this. If you guys can tell, I'm really into audio. That's why I do things like buy $400 mics and my headphones and my expensive XLR cables, but this is really one of my passions. So yeah, I think the podcast will, so I'm not 100% sure about all these things though. I mean, I'm also open to hearing your guys' feedback. What you guys think would be good, what would be a good sort of theme and content for the podcast. I'm really open to hearing your guys' feedback. Z-Alves, I bought an MXL 990 after your recommendation. Dude, that's really awesome. I'm really glad you did. I love that microphone. I think it's the best microphone for the price, easily. I just love the way that thing sounds. I still do not understand how it's so cheap. But yeah, I hope it's been serving you well. And Mr. Robbie Jr. says audio is important. Yes, it is. 100% agree. So we got Manfred Hammond here asking, what's the biggest struggle you have in terms of finance and balancing it with your life? So on that topic, I still live at home. I'm going to be moving out very soon, but that's to be living with my grandfather. So I'm not financially independent at this point in my life. However, I am generating money, and there are things I pay for. I pay for all this equipment, for example. No one bought any of this stuff for me. I pay for my Adobe stuff. I pay for all my subscriptions to everything. So I don't have a ton of overhead. I have some overhead, but it's pretty minimal. But the biggest struggle in terms of finance and balancing it with your life is I'm not very good at saving money. That's unfortunately just kind of the way I've always been. I'm trying to get better about that, but I think in some ways that there's some good things about that. not the kind of person to cheap out on good gear. If I think a piece of gear will help my content, like this mic, I buy it. I don't be like, oh, I'm going to buy a $10 version because it's cheap. I need to save money. But on the other hand, I also don't always have good saving abilities. And sometimes I don't have enough money when things happen, like if my phone breaks. So that's my struggle is, earning money from something and then just not spending it on more stuff for my business. So guys, don't forget to hit the like button of the stream, Z-Alves. Thank you. I appreciate that, Z-Alves. And also, guys, since things are I think things are a little different now on YouTube as far as seeing people's videos, I would really appreciate it if you guys put on that notification bell on my channel, because I think it's hard for my videos to reach my subscribers. I think most YouTubers feel that way right now. So if you guys really like my videos, please don't hesitate to put on that bell. You'll see all my new uploads when they come out, and there should be a lot more really soon. So back to Manfred Hammond. Do you have to weigh the opportunity cost of your YouTube channel in your life in terms of money? How do your parents feel about it? Very good question. I'm really glad to see you on the stream, Manfred. I don't think I've seen you on my streams before, but you're asking really great questions. So yes, I do. I do have to weigh the opportunity cost of YouTube in terms of money, and that's a big reason I haven't been uploading recently. The video job I do, like I was telling you guys about, where I do these videos for this company in LA. Family friend of mine works there. I do these videos about the products, doing overviews, B2B stuff. That pays kind of a lot. I can make upwards of like 25 an hour doing that kind of stuff, which is really, really nice. YouTube, on the other hand, some of these videos make like pretty much no money, but all these videos take like 14 hours to make. I mean, sometimes they take less, but they generally take me something like that, like 10 to 15 hours to make. So they're big productions, and it's not always easy for me to start that and know that it might not succeed financially. Because like usually what happens is like I spend like hours filming, and then I spend hours, well, not always hours, I spend usually like an hour writing, and then I spend like a while recording the audio, then I spend a little while editing the audio, then I spend a while editing the video, and then coloring the video, which doesn't take very long, and then that's the whole, and then making the thumbnail, and then making the tags, and then making a description. So it's a big process, but I mean, obviously I love it when the video succeeds, but when it doesn't, it's difficult. So in that way, it's very difficult to justify these in terms of money, but I think this summer, considering I'm, like I said, I'm not financially independent, so I don't need the money as much, but I know that if I keep building the YouTube channel, it'll eventually go into more money. It's more long-term, it's like you're building for the long term. So that's my justification now. During the school year, it was hard. How do your parents feel about it? I would say they're very supportive, and I appreciate that. There's been times where I've had a very hard time earning money, and that has led to some conflict as far as like me saying this is my job and me making like no money. That doesn't always work well, because there are kids I know who work at like Domino's and they make more than me simply because they work a lot more hours and they get paid consistently. So that has been a little bit of an issue, but on the whole, they're very supportive and they really do appreciate what I'm doing. So really good question again, Manfred. So Mr. Robbie Jr. asked, do you think click-sit might be necessary these days? Click-sit, I'm not sure what you mean by that. It must be a phrase that I'm not familiar with. Can you explain that to me? Just explain it to me, Mr. Robbie Jr., because I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. Z-Alves, what are you studying at community college? So my plan is to start at community college and then transfer to UCSB, because that's the school I really wanted to go to. And I'm going to be majoring in Spanish. That's what I'm going to be studying. I'm going to be majoring in Spanish. My whole goal, guys, is to be doing this channel, this entire brand in both languages. That's really my ultimate goal, guys. If you didn't know, Spanish is one of my big passions. And so yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to doing that and getting that major. I mean, a lot of people tell you not to major in language. I think it's a good use of time anyway. So Oh, clickbait. That's what he meant. Clickbait. I don't think clickbait's necessary these days, and I never will. I mean, I guess if you're like desperate to live off your YouTube channel, then maybe, but I try to, stay true to my sort of values here in the sense that I'm not going to just I'm not going to resort to doing that simply because I want more views. I try to make my thumbnails as least clickbaity as possible, but I get some people do it. I'm not judging them. Sash, man, yo, what's up? What's up, Sash? If you guys don't know, Sash is someone I actually do know in real life. Manfred Hammond, also, you seem to be doing great work. Well, first off, thank you. I really appreciate that. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You are bound for great things as long as you're determined to keep this going. Well, that was very kind, Manfred. Thank you for saying that. People talking to me like this in the stream really gives me a lot of motivation. So really, thank you for doing that. That encourages me to keep going. And all Spanish stream. Sí, es una posibilidad, mi amigo, pero en este momento probablemente no. But for another day. All Spanish stream, possibly. Oh, sí, y mi amigo Zials habla español también. Es muy, muy bien. Es un idioma increíble para todos los países que hablan español, incluyendo los Estados Unidos. But I will get back to English, guys. My Spanish is not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with how it sounds at this moment. That's clearly why I'm majoring in it. I want to get better, but I have more of a Spanish accent because that's where I learned. And then Sash gives a smiley face. So cool. Mr. Robbie Jr., what is your favorite video review you made? I feel like I really like this Audio-Technica ATH-M50X in 2018 review. I really like this video. If you guys haven't seen it, this is probably my best video. So that's probably my favorite video review that I've made. And I just want to address, again, and if you guys wouldn't mind telling me just here in the comments, just because this really helps me out with knowing what to make on my videos, if you guys would all tell me what video it was you discovered my channel on. If you know me in real life, that's different. But I think Sash is the only one in the stream here who does. But Zialv says, eres muy bueno hablando español. Thank you, Zialvs. Felicitaciones. There we go. Sorry, it was a little hard for me to read. Felicitaciones. Y muchas gracias, Zialv, a tú también. Muchas gracias para tu atención. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm trying to get better, so I always appreciate people being kind about it. But yeah, so that's my favorite video. And yeah, like I said, if you guys wouldn't mind telling me what it is, what video in particular you found my channel from. Manfred Hammond, where'd your passion from Spanish come from? So, Manfred with these great questions. It's interesting you asked that. So, just to give you a little background, I like, if this makes any sense, like, I'm like a third Mexican, if that makes any sense. My mom, her dad was born in Mexico, but then her mom was also like half Mexican. So I'm like a third Mexican. And then I didn't, in middle school, I actually sang in the mariachi band at my school in Spanish. Before I even understood Spanish, I sang in it, but I didn't really care for Spanish. I always thought it was like, oh, you only need to learn English. Who cares about other languages? And then, my parents really wanted me to take Spanish in high school, so I ended up taking Spanish 1, Spanish 2, Spanish 3, Spanish 4. Spanish 1, I did not like. I tried to quit. Didn't have the option. Spanish 2, I thought was a little bit better, but still didn't really enjoy it. Had no passion. Thought I was the worst kid in the class. Spanish 3, kind of again, starting to feel the same way, like, oh my gosh, my Spanish is really not where it should be. But then in Spanish 3, I was given an opportunity that my parents made possible, and what I really appreciate, to go to Spain for a 3-week course, a 3-week stay, a immersion stay where I would stay with a family, and I would go to a school 5 days a week for like 4 hours, all in Spanish, everything in Spanish, and I decided that I would do it. And that was amazing for me, really nerve-wracking at first. My head hurt, but I literally I had to really like learn Spanish in a really immersive kind of way, and like being thrown right into it. And that was really, I think, where my passion started. Since then, I've been really lucky. I've been able to go to Mexico and speak Spanish there, as well as Guatemala. And I will very likely be, and I'm going to Mexico again this next week. At the end of Saturday, my mom and I are going to San Miguel de Allende. If I got any viewers in Mexico there, I'm going to be there. And I'm going to be doing language school there with my mom, because my mom's also totally fluent in Spanish, better than me. But yeah, we'll be doing language school there. So, and then next summer I'll be going to Spain again, probably for 5 weeks. So that's where my passion for Spanish started. And I've been trying to apply that to my brand here, because I really want to be able to do these things both, Dictator Dogue, got a question for you. Besides using Fiverr, what other voice acting sites or areas should I find work or send demos to? Dogue, what's up? I know your name's not Dogue. What's up, Dodge? Just kidding. Dodge here is someone I've known for a while, back from the Minecraft YouTube days. Anyone back here from Noble Chief, probably Dodge is the only one. That's what this channel was called before it was called Erickson Films, but that's how we know each other. But to answer your question, Fiverr is where I do the majority of my stuff. I also have found Voice Bunny is a good option. Voice Bunny is a really good option. I would recommend trying going on Voice Bunny and Upwork. I haven't had a lot of success with Upwork, but I've heard others have. And to send demos to, yeah, those are good places to go. And also put your demo on YouTube. And then beyond that, I do work with people because like they find me and they email me. So I just do a lot of work within email. But yeah, voices.com is also a good option because you can really get good jobs in there. The difference with voices.com and the others is you got to actually pay for it. But as far as free options, Voice Bunny and Upwork. Hope that helps, Dodge. Z-Alves, your review of the MXL 990, and thank you again, Dodge, for coming by the stream. I appreciate it, man. Z-Alves, your review of the MXL 990 was the first video I watched. Really glad to hear that, because that was one of those videos that I feel like I worked really hard on that I didn't know, I didn't really feel anyway was doing as well as I wanted it to. Which AT? Okay, so that must be the name of your interface. Oh, sounds like a good setup, Dodge. And which AT mic? That sounds like a good setup, dude. I think it's always good when you don't use a USB mic. So yeah, that sounds like a good setup, man. I think that, the setup's important, for voiceover. Not saying you need like a $3,000 setup, but something like that's perfect. Getting really hot. Jeez, I don't know why. I don't even live in a hot area, guys. I do not live in a hot area, but I'm just really spoiled by Southern California weather. So even if it gets a little bit hot, I just start, sweating and burning. AT2035. That's a great mic, dude. Glad to hear you got one of those. I'm a big fan of the AT2035. That's a very good setup you got going. Who's sending me this stuff? Oh, random group chats, guys. But yeah, AT2035 is definitely a good option. Then Manfred Hammond, how did you find my channel? I know how Dodge did. So, yeah, Lowell used to use a Yeti, then realized XLR is the best. So did I, Dodge. Used to use a Yeti too. Yeti's not a terrible mic, and I think it sounds better than some other USB mics, but it's definitely best to use XLR. So that's good that you've awoken in that sense, because it's just so, like, amazing the difference you get when you use a better mic, And just general impressions, guys. What are you guys thinking of the SM7B? You liking how it's sounding? I know I am, but curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Because I think this was a good investment, but, So Mr. Robbie Jr. asks, what is my dream mic? My dream mic, well, this actually was one of my dream mics until last week, the SM7B. So that one dream mic I have anyway. As far as just a dream mic, Neumann U87, $3,500 mic. I don't even think it sounds that much better than what I have right now, because the thing with audio is microphones don't sound all that much better when you pay more. But yeah, if I could have anyone, I'd totally be happy with that. Manfred Hammond found me from the Sound Blaster X video, so new subscriber. Good to hear that. Thanks for letting me know, Manfred. I really appreciate it. And I see... Okay, that's cool, dude. I'm glad that you liked the video. That was, yeah, my most recent video. But I've been making videos in that format, in the style now, for almost 2 years. But not always super consistently. But thank you for letting me know. And then, yeah, if you guys have any other questions, just shoot them. I'll keep answering for a while more. I'm really enjoying these streams, and I really like that even though I don't do these streams all that often, you guys do come and support the channel and, you know, talk to me, ask me questions. I appreciate it and say nice things to me. So, Emma Sandstone, what's up? Thanks for joining the stream. How you doing? We're just talking. We're just Q&Aing it. So if you got any questions, just shoot them my way, and I'll be sure to answer them. Sash says, funny question, what'd you have for dinner? I haven't had dinner yet, but I'm going to be having Mexican food. Yeah, I'm having Mexican food, some kind of burrito, which I like Mexican food, you know. Not necessarily I guess my favorite food's probably Italian food, but Mexican's up there for me. And then Z Alb says, your 7B sounds great. I don't think a Neumann would sound much better than this. And thank you, Z Alves. Yeah, I agree. I think that the Neumann, yeah, like, well, I mean, this is my dynamic mic, so it's got more of a dynamic sound, but at least my condenser anyway, the Blue Spark, I think they're very similar sounding mics. But yeah, this is a great mic, and this is maybe the last mic I'm going to buy, at least for a really long time. So, Manfred Hammond, what's the travel to Santa Barbara going to be like for college? Are you anxious or excited? So, Manfred, I am excited because I'm not actually going to be commuting there. I live in a place called Ventura, which is only about 40 minutes from Santa Barbara. I'm living with my grandfather, who lives in Santa Barbara. So, and we're all talking Southern California here, guys. So, yeah, I'll be living there just about 1 mile or 2 miles from the school, so that'll be easy. But yeah, I won't be living here anymore. So, the days of seeing Erickson Films videos if you're all getting sick of the scenery you're seeing now, be prepared for totally different scenery. My grandpa lives in a very naturey area. And then he also, he's, if you want to know what his house looks like, I did a video on it back in my Lumix ZS100 review that was filmed there. So if you want to get an idea of what starting in August or like mid-August the videos are going to look like as far as where they're filmed. But if you like this place, you'll be seeing a lot more videos here for the rest of the summer. So Dictator Doge. SM7B is a good choice. Great bass compared to most mics. Yes, Dodge, I agree. I'm glad you're in agreement with me. Emma Sandstone. Hi, Christian. What's up? Again, hello, Emma Sandstone. Do we know each other? Not sure. If not, if you're just watching the channel, that's cool. I only ask because sometimes people who know me randomly write to me on here, which is cool. Emma Sandstone. That's cool. Yeah, thanks. Sash, man, do a house tour. I think I'll do a house tour of the new house when I move there, and my new house, my grandpa's house. At least partial tour of the studio, at least. I don't necessarily need to. I don't think the entire house needs to be shown. I don't want to be stalked. So, okay. All right, I know who Emma Sandstone is. Hello, Emma Sandstone. Yes, we do know each other. And Sash, when you move. Yeah, when I move. Thanks, Sash. Yeah. Yeah, I think that you guys are going to like the new area. Emma Sandstone knows where the new area is, so that's all I'll say. But yeah, I mean, I'm a little sad, I'm not going to be living here anymore, but I'm also pretty done with this area. And not like this city. I love where I live. But filming in this exact room is getting a little daunting. So this new area I'll be filming in is a lot bigger. So Ethan C, in the video Yanni versus Laurel, what do you personally hear? Let me double check. I kind of forgot, so I'm going to do a little live test. I think I heard Laurel. Laurel. Yeah, I heard Laurel. So that's if you guys want to know, I hear Laurel. So yeah, there you go, Ethan C. I hear Laurel. And yeah, and I really, oh, by the way, I'm planning to do a review of the MXL. I already did a review of the MXL. Planning to do a review of the Shure SM7B fairly soon after I've gotten some more time with the mic, after I've learned more about how this thing operates. I'm going to be doing a review of it. Also, I'll be doing a review of these Origem HS1 headphones that I was sent. They're kind of a nice $40 alternative to AirPods. And then I'm probably going to be doing a new tutorial on Adobe Audition for editing voiceover. I think that's something people have requested before. That original video did pretty well, and the way I process my audio now is really different. So yeah, that's part of it. How's VidCon? Emma Sandstone asks. VidCon is over, but it was fun. I did enjoy myself. Wasn't exactly what I expected, but I overall had a good time, and I got a lot of inspiration for the channel. So yeah, that was my opinions on VidCon. And yeah, I'm just happy to see the engagement on this live stream. Happy to see that people are still enjoying the channel, and yeah, so if you guys want to shoot me, if you have any ideas, any requests for videos, I'd be happy to take them. Any questions, any more questions, anything like that, I'm listening. So Manfred Hammond asks, was there a specific teacher that influenced your passion for Spanish in addition to the trip? Well, I think that the teacher I had in Spanish 2 and 3 was a really good teacher. I really liked him a lot. He was a big influence on me. But in addition to that, the teacher I had in Spain was probably the biggest influence on my Spanish. A guy named Pablo, a Spanish guy. He was not even technically a teacher. He was our tour guide, but he was very educated, kind of. So he was an architect, but he had this really vast understanding of Spanish history and everything. And him and I became good friends. And he was probably the biggest influence on my Spanish because the majority of our friendship was in Spanish. And then Ziao says, yeah, an audition tutorial for VO would be great. Glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you think that. I'll definitely make one. Yeah, so yeah, that's something that I'm totally fine to do. Especially now that I have this good mic was the thing that I didn't want to. The reason I was waiting so long is I didn't want to use a mic that I was going to be picking up a bunch of background noise like my computer. This thing doesn't, thankfully. Just waiting for more questions. And so from what you guys have seen of my channel, what's been like your favorite type of content? And also, if you have like a least favorite or something you think that I should change, I'm happy to listen to that. Any kind of feedback. You don't have to worry about hurting my feelings. Sash, man, are you planning any other live streams soon? I only ask because I have to go since I'm about to watch Black Panther. Glad you're about to watch that, Sash. I like that movie a lot. Yeah, if you guys like these live streams, I could start doing these a lot, like once or twice a week. So yeah, let me know right there in the comments if you like the live streams. I'd be happy to do them more. These are easy for me to do. They're not at all hard. Did you ever see anything about TanaCon and the issue it raised at VidCon? Heard some people were kicked out because they went to TanaCon. Doge, yeah, I did hear about the TanaCon thing. I heard it was a disaster, and I heard that it was free, and that it was a disaster, and yeah, it was a disaster. And I'm not a big fan of Tana Montague. I think that's how you say her name. Not a big fan at all. Manfred Hammond, live streams for sure. Cool. Same with Mr. Robbie Jr. likes them. Yeah, well, guys, totally then. I'll be making more. Just make sure to put that bell on if you want to see more from me. I think that's what's cool about a small channel like this with a still small community is we have a lot of interaction that I don't think you always get when you're on a bigger channel. And yeah, and I also think that the audio quality, I'm pretty proud of it for these live streams. So I hope that helps with not hurting your ears kind of thing. Tattletale, what happened? So from what I heard, like way more people came than anticipated and way more people came than had registered because it was a free event and people came and went and registered and it was a disaster and they had to cancel it. That's what I heard. Tattletale. This thing really doesn't pick anything up. That's awesome. What's the worst mix? I'm guessing you mean mic you used or had. Well, I've never really owned any. Well, sorry. Every mic I had was good for what it was, but I guess technically the worst mic I ever had was my first mic, which was a Blue Snowflake. But I also think that mic is fine for the price and what it is. But that's Blue's cheapest mic, and that was my first microphone that I ever got, and was what really kind of began my love for microphones. I loved how they looked. I loved how they felt. I loved touching the microphones. And yeah, that was my first mic, but also my worst one because it was my first. It was a cheap, like $30 mic, but it's pretty good for the price. Dictator Doge, Tana Mongoose said, F you to VidCon in the YouTube corporate world. So she made her own event. 5,000 were scheduled to come, but 20,000 came instead. Dodge has described it perfectly, guys. That's what happened. People that went had gotten wristbands, and they went to VidCon. They were asked to cut off the VidCon wristband, giving access to enter the event. Yeah, huge shit show. Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. So I thought it was going to be a disaster, and it turns out that it was. I get that people have some issues with how VidCon runs, but I think that boycotting it and making your own event is not a solution. I think Hank and John Green, they have some faults like everybody, but they're really good guys. I really believe that. Manfred Hemmon says, what's your worst video and how did you learn from it? So, I think that, so Erickson Films the channel wasn't always Erickson Films, and before that it was Noble Chief, and back then I used to make a lot of low quality content. But as far as, at least if you're just talking about me as Erickson Films, I think that, like, my worst video was, going back here a little bit. It's probably privated by now. Yeah, I mean, you get far enough back here, and some of these videos were not that great. Like this, I think it's privated now, but I made a video about how to get all of Adobe cheap, and that was not a good video, really. It was just me talking about how if you were a student, you could get it cheaper. That was like literally the whole video, so not that great. And then, yeah, Dodge and Emma Sandstone both remember the Noble Chief days. Those were definitely, I think for my age, they weren't terrible videos. Like, I was a younger guy, and Dodge remembers that, and so does Emma Sandstone. They remember those videos. But yeah, those were not good. I used to make, like, really racist jokes in them and stuff like that. And, you know, I was a kid. I'm not yelling at myself for it, really. But yeah, probably worst videos back then. They were bad because I didn't edit them and I didn't care about the quality. So in that way, to answer your question, Manfred, I've learned about the importance of production quality editing, and overall just being engaging as much as possible and not wasting viewers' time. And then Dodge says, lol, the good old days. Yeah, I think if I remember, Dodge, we met in like a Skype call. Yeah, we were in a Skype call that William Tedder had made. And then I was like chilling the Skype call with someone else, and then you came in the call. And then we started talking because it was like a ton of people in the group back in the Minecraft Skype days. Minecraft Pocket Edition to be exact. How old were you when you started up this channel? Tattletale asks. So Erickson Films, as it's known now, I started Ericsson Films as far as the tech videos when I was 17, just about 17. So that was about almost 2 years ago. But as far as this channel existing, if you wanted to know why this channel is called youtube.com/NobleChief627, well, that was, yeah, Emma Sandstone knows I was 12, actually, going to turn 13. So that's the really old stuff. Z-Owls, gotta go, dude. If you need any help with Spanish, just contact me. I'm a native speaker of the language. We can have a talk if you want. All right, thanks, dude. I will. I'll keep a link open to your channel. So thank you very much for offering. I really appreciate that. Emma Sandstone, like the old channel. Ha ha ha. So with that, guys, my food's here. So I think I'm going to wrap up this live stream. Just want to say thank you all for watching, all for interacting with the stream, and yeah, stay tuned for more videos, for more high quality technology audio videos, and yes, keep your eye out for the podcast. I'll let you guys know, and if you really want more constant updates on the channel, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Ericsson Films, or just whatever. My username is Ericsson Films. So if you're looking for more info on me. Dodge says, take care, man. Def stream again, for sure. What are you eating again? Manfred asks, burrito. That's what I'm eating. And yeah, my voice is kind of going away now, too. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Nice to see you too, Emma Sandstone. And with that, Ericsson Films. See you next live stream too, Tattletale. Signing out. Roses are red, violets are blue. What's your dinner? I'm hungry too. It's burritos. It's a burrito from a Mexican place near my house. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Manfred Hammond. I will.